Are you struggling with digestive issues such as stomach upset, bloating, acid reflux, heartburn, IBS, etc.? Well, I have struggled with all these symptoms for many years until I started living low carb and avoiding gluten about 8 years ago. Then the symptoms improved tremendously. However, for the past 2 years, it came back and I was constantly having stomach upset, acid reflux, and diarrhea. My husband also had the same symptoms. So I did some research and decided to try sauerkraut in order to improve my gut health. I made fermented sauerkraut from scratch, and it was quite easy because there were so many video resources in the internet. But being an Asian, it was hard to incorporate it into my diet, so I had to eat it straight. And soon I got tired of it. Then I discovered that I could try fermented sauerkraut juice, which was even easier to make in a short time and so convenient to consume. So, sauerkraut juice is packed with live probiotics, lactic acid, and essential nutrients such as vitamin C, iron, and potassium. It promotes digestion as the natural lactic acid inhibits growth of bad bacteria and encourages the growth of good bacteria. Now, besides aiding digestive health, it also supports strong immune system and help manage inflammation. Now, sauerkraut is also acid resistant, allowing the probiotics to survive the high acidity of the stomach to reach the intestines and thrive in this acidic fermented environment. Now, since I started consuming sauerkraut juice about 7 months ago, all my symptoms have improved drastically. Of course, I can still have a mild bloating or acid reflux once in a while when I eat food that I should not have eaten due to intolerances. But I would say that about 95% of my symptoms have gone away, and I have saved so much of money from buying expensive commercial probiotics, as well as acid reflux, stomach ache, and diarrhea medicines. My husband also experienced improvements in his symptoms. Now, since it is so cheap to make sauerkraut juice with only three ingredients, basically cabbage, salt, and water, that's it. I have encouraged my whole family to consume it to improve their gut health. Now, I have gone through so much of trial and error in making sauerkraut juice, as there are not a lot of videos available in the internet to learn from. It may seem easy, but after making 9 batches in 7 months, I have learned the best way of doing it to get the best flavor. So I decided to share it with you. However, I have to caution you to go slow when you start consuming sauerkraut juice. I personally experienced some side effects during the first week, such as constant farting, stomach upset, but they were manageable. This is normal as our body gets adjusted to the sudden introduction of new probiotics. But this can vary among individuals, as some people do not experience any side effects at all. After a week, all the side effects were gone, and I started to feel the benefits. I started by drinking shots of 30 ml a day, then increased to 60, 80, and 100 ml gradually. Then, after a period of time, I increased to 1 cup, which is 240 ml a day, but I split it to twice a day. There is 120 ml in the morning and another 120 ml in the evening. However, my other family members are still drinking 1 to 2 shots a day, and they are happy with it. So, you need to experiment with what works best for you. Now, as a disclaimer, if you have certain health conditions and are on medications, please check with your doctor first. So, if you're ready, let's take a look at how to make the sauerkraut juice at home.
Do not wash the cabbage because the beneficial microbes lives on it. Just peel off 1 to 2 leaves to get rid of dirty or wilted leaves. This cabbage head weighs slightly above 1 kilo. Cut the cabbage into 4 quarters. Cut out the core of the cabbage. Cut into strips. Transfer into a big bowl. Place some of the cut cabbage into a food processor. Process until a fine texture. It is like a mince texture. Transfer the minced cabbage into a big bowl. After mincing and the core removed, the cabbage weighs around 873 grams. This is the right texture. Now add 17 grams of salt. Give it a good mix, then let it sit for 15 minutes to sweat. Please see the description on how to calculate the cabbage, salt and water. After sitting for 15 minutes, just give it a good mix. Notice that the cabbage is softer and more moist. Transfer the cabbage into jars. I am using a 1 kilo jar and a 1.5 kilo jar. Just divide the cabbage according to the size of the jar. Now add 1760 ml of water. You can add the water straight into the jar or add it into the bowl to catch all the residual salt and the cabbage. Now you can fill the jars with the water. I'm adding a 30 ml shot of previously fermented sauerkraut juice to each jar. This helps to kickstart the process, so it only takes 1 day to ferment. Give it a good stir, then cover with the caps. If you're making from scratch for the first time, you just need to ferment it for 3 days. Always label the jars accordingly. Place the jars in a basin in case there's any leakage. Ferment the jars at room temperature for 1 to 3 days and stir them once or twice a day. This is how they look after fermentation. Give it a good stir and you can see how much of bubbles and foams have been formed. This is an indication of a successful fermentation, so now it's time to harvest the juice. Place a strainer over the bowl. Place a cheesecloth on top of the strainer. Now pour the fermented cabbage juice into the cheesecloth. It's time to use some muscles to squeeze out as much of the juice as possible. You can use a glass bottle or a food-grade plastic bottle. Place a funnel into the bottle and fill the bottle with the sauerkraut juice. Cover the bottle with the caps and store them in the fridge. Label all the bottles to keep track. This recipe yields 2236 ml of sauerkraut juice. After making this video, I made a big batch for the family. It only cost me 20 Malaysian ringgit or US $5. This is a 30 ml shot. It has a sour, salty and veggie taste. Cheers and thanks for watching.